is keeps getting updated, and this subject's pretty slick. You know, like you face the nodes, how they work together, all it's awesome. I mean, a few little glitches like usually a right click and node. Where's that? Let's see, you gotta zoom out. And it's right here, but it's normally I don't know. It's just targeting the wrong spot, but it won't do that in a different view. I think. Boom. I just downloaded it last night, so I don't know where exactly its phone is at. Well, anyways, but I was messing around with coming up with lightning strike my base. I'm doing it the wrong way. I gotta use probably some obviously spinning, but like that's not the using the snow to get the timeline down here. You want to hear, and then you start choose your sound device. But once your sound device is linked, you pull this note out, and then it'll bring out. It'll start taking frequencies, and what I gotta do is go and grab the frequency. Then you gotta multiply that to make a larger number. We going out. I was trying to do something else with it just before then, but then like I decided to make a trigger. So like maybe hit a threshold, then it hits that threshold that the values at zero when it hits eight like this when it hits this threshold point, trigger said yeah. And it'll play. Then continue to change the threshold. When it triggers the boolean, saying yes, it's hit that threshold, then it starts the particle. It changes the particle emitter to emit from false to true, so it'll start emitting like it should see that right now if I did it. See it was true. But some of the turbulent force and directional force, you gotta tweak that to get it to. I don't know how it's been like. It's like I think I used the wrong point trail. I had the wrong thing going to the point trail or something. But like I said, it's something you know. I don't know like it. You know a lot of stuff with this thing, but like I said, this once you have it all set, you got your render target. This is the sphere right here, and you set the resolution. You set the size like 512 by 512. As long as you got it there, you got to factor out that you got everything's got to be set the same 12, 512. And now I can use it as a you know I can render this out. And I have 5 just up and down, you go to render files. It gives you image sequence. And this is where like you can, if you get a PNG image sequence, let's say, if you're doing any type of like special effect or anything in here, you can, that's used for games, all that stuff. This image sequence thing in a video, either video, user interface video, image sequences. All that stuff, especially when you get the ability to size, the output resolution you use in video games and like your special effects, you got any special effects to be doing outside. Like it used to be more, back then, about 20 years ago, you used a lot more, what you call it, can't think of the name of them, sprites. So, a sprite in a sequence, like something, anything, fire, any type of effect, throwing full effect. Even 2D games today, a sprite in it's like 30 frame or 15 frame, 24 frame. That's what I see, about 24 to 30 frames per second. So if we did that, you can bring them in, just like the sprite sheet. And when you make sprite sheets this way, all you have to do is, after you get the image sequence baked out, you go out and layer them up in Photoshop. But yeah, cool. Tool3. This is definitely. I made a clock earlier, but the thing is, it's just like Microsoft. So I can't use it. Like it's not something. Microsoft's already doing it. Like I didn't realize it was like just like the timer on Microsoft. I can't use it because it's probably copywritten or trademark somewhere. It's not gonna happen like that. But what else they got going on? All this tons of different nodes, you search the nodes. But it's just the particles. It's just the particles. You can bring a camera in, bring a 3D object in, bring a camera in, bring textures in. Some of my couple of instrumental videos are there's a ship with I guess the Nora Jones song going in the background. That was done in this. It was just something simple, I was just seeing what I could do with it and everything. The thing on the front of the ship was built in this, and it's like I said, I'm just trying to stuff out. Well, working this computer card, it's like 1650. You need like if you got like the 3060s or higher, you good. Then you got the RTX, you good. Let's say this. You do more with it than this. You go on animation, you're doing special effects. You're only going to be able to do more RAM and more memory and higher, better processor. So it's better than, but you got just small things or anything with. Not saying 1650 isn't strong. It's strong. I just still, I still do everything on this. I only got 8 gigabytes of RAM. Yeah, I got 8 gigabytes of RAM. And I still do everything I do. I still do on this computer. I got this since 2019. So it's this, and then I'm saying it all depends on what you do and how the optimization wise and what you're doing. It depends on how big these graphs get and what you're trying to render in the graphs. Take the processing and everything else, but all this is doing, like I said, as far as you can go, random number, that's animated random number, changes in the seed value. It's plugged into the seed value. The animated flow is plugged into the seed value. The seed value changes the random number between 0 and 1. Goes into a vector 3. They got three different random values getting changed by different seed, different, they're getting animated and changed. So they got three different, it gives the motion, the direction where it's going, getting the random direction. So it's not always going to be playing the same direction. I got it started out right. Then I got a spring value like for tension, which I'm pretty sure I needed all the way. But I think the force and the point trail I got fixed. I'm probably using too many points or something. I'm figuring out something, but you got directional force and then what we got. There's so-called, I guess, Boolean or I can't think of. It's something they came up to calculate particles with their actions. It takes it evaluates one point, then by that one point it evaluates, predicts what the 3 or 4 points are doing around it. It's either Booleans not Booleans, it's Barnini's, I can't think of the name of it. Maybe I can put it in here. I know the name of it, if you want to look it up and wonder. It has the name of it in part of the system. The fall key light. Newtonian voids. Voids is it? What is voids? There's a term that, like I said, it calculates different positions, but it cues off of 1 or 2 of them to determine the best of them around and doing it. I can't think of the name. I'm thinking of voids. But we got the same thing here. I don't know if it says the thing. But it should be circling like that. I don't know why it's circling. I wanted to get kind of reaction. But it's not hit average point, because another strike and spin a circle, it hits random points in space within a certain range between the starting vector and the ending vector. When you look at it like a lightning opposing starts from the ground up, like you see it. To reproduce it, you gotta do it like you see it. You gotta see it from one point. It starts from one point to one point. So from the sky to the ground, or from one point. As long as you got it going from one point to the next. Then it hits either one spot or it's random, veins out. During the to a stage within the vectors, the random vector stage, everything stays within the random vector between like a certain threshold, and there's like a little some potential on it. It should be wider. I think it's because I wasn't up and up. So if you like us to watch it again, it's working on. Again, decided. Yeah, so open up. trigger off the base. Maybe if this. Oh, maybe there's something. Down. One position. Then I'm gonna transform. But like it's like you said, it's just like that. You start to just like, oh, there's something to listen here. I thought it was a factor here. But even the turbulence is giving it, it's giving it a factor. Maybe the donut, because the donut was starting back there. This little pin up there. So I plug that man back to the middle. And let the man back together. But it should technically work. Like that should work. The man is spinning back there. It's filling it up. Spin it back there. Back to zero. That should go fast doing that. But now just see, I think I'm not able to use point shell, I use slow things. But let's say, maybe that's how it was, and then I can, if I want to use the key of the output, I don't key anything else. Take off the, anything video wise, like, video, like, you know, there's so much stuff, there's so much cool stuff you can do, so it ain't funny. But I don't like, I don't know how many people use it or not. But how safe it is to download, I have, got a McAfee that didn't catch any viruses, all it didn't detect any viruses. So, I mean, but, you know, there's, you know, the guys, I mean, you go online, they got an Instagram, they got a GitHub, it's an exe file now before it's downloaded, you go and click download, it actually installs on the computer now. But like I said, it's definitely something that's, definitely if you're doing video game design, it's definitely something you need. You want to have, it gives you an extra, you know, an extra option to come up with things that you might not be able to come up with, or it might be easier to come up with. Like this, like, you know, sometimes an extra texture versus processing. I mean, you got a particle emitter do a lot of different things, but if you get some of that effect beforehand, or just, you know, just use a sprite sheet, you know, worry about particle emitters, you just worry about texture space, then I mean, it's all depends on you. But like, this is definitely the audio, video. This is just scratching the surface of what. This is barely even scratching the surface. You even going into here. I mean, that's going into stuff. But like, you can come up with custom nodes and everything else. There's so much to do visualize. Like, versus is it easier to do something else or harder to do something else? I don't know, but it's a free and quick alternative and it's out there. Like I said, so thanks for checking it out.